Hello, Kevin. We're here today at Brooklands Best of British. This is a beautiful example of a car of its era. Would you be able to tell us a little bit more about it?
The car is made by Swift, and it was made in Coventry.
Right.
And nobody's ever heard of Swift. They started with bicycles and sewing machines. Then they eventually went into cars during the First World War. And then they produced these wonderful cars, which they advertised as the little timekeeper because they were so reliable.
Oh my goodness!
Typical somebody who would buy this would be a doctor, or
right?
a bank
professional.
Manager. It was a professional, and somebody who actually didn't want something fast, but they wanted something that they could put 4 people in,
yes,
and go to work in or poot around town.
Wonderful.
Big step up from a motorbike or cycle car like an Austin 7.
Yeah, I believe Swift also probably made sidecars at one stage in that era.
That's a different Swift.
Oh, is it really?
Yes.
Please.
Yes, it is indeed. Swift were big engineering conglomerates. They worked with companies like Bean, which have also long gone, and various others. They made engines for water pumps and fire engines, some of which are still going.
Right.
But this tiny little 1200cc side valve engine, it's supposed to be 30 horsepower, but you definitely need third gear at the slightest look of a hill.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And as a brand, did it continue for some time?
No, it just went. It just went.
It just went.
It just went. It was. They hadn't reinvested. Apparently, a Swift was brought to Brooklands in the late 1920s, where they wanted to work with the test hill to see if there was anything they could do to improve the performance of the car.
Yes.
Because they didn't have enough money to invest in new engines, whatever. And the answer is no. There was absolutely nothing they could do about it.
And were there many models in the range at that time, Kevin? I mean, this is absolutely beautiful, isn't it?
This car is a Swift 10.
Right.
And they made, this was the last one they made. And they different marks on it.
Right.
But essentially this was pretty well the pinnacle because they put the 4th gear in.
Right.
So the 4th gear, instead of being a 3-speed crash gearbox, it became a 4-speed crash gearbox. And what made that so special was that they'd put an extra gear below first.
Oh.
So that you could actually get up a hill with 4 people in it.
Oh, wow.
So that was the pinnacle of their 1929 engineering for the Swift company. Good quality, solid cars, last forever, but completely outdated and underinvested in.
And this particular model this year?
This is a 1929, so this is pretty well the last one they made.
Yeah.
They did make another one in 1930, but a Swift 5, but I can't detect what the differences were between them.
Right.
To be perfectly honest.
Well, it's an absolute beautiful example, and I don't know if there's many gatherings or a Swift Owners Club where you can compare them. Or
there is a Swift register, and there are with about 80 or 90 members, and they do a gathering once a year.
Okay.
And half a dozen of these things. It's quite nice. You get them turning up at places like VSCC Prescott's, and they form a little gaggle.
Fabulous.
I'm not quite sure what the collective noun is for Swift cars, but I'm sure there is one.
I'm sure there is. Kevin, thank you very much for sharing your beautiful car and its history.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So now we're out in amongst all the cars that have gathered to the side of the hangar, and we found an immaculate E-Type Jag. Simon, please tell me a little bit about this car.
Gosh, so I bought this maybe over 10 years ago now, and I bought it from America. Sight unseen. It's a bit of a wreck.
Yes.
As a restoration project. There's the matching numbers, very early E-Type. But yeah, over a course of 4.5 years, fully rebuilt it. Upgraded bits and pieces as I went along for modern drivability reasons.
And what year manufacture was this?
This one's 1962.
1962.
So it's only a year after they started making them. 61 was the launch date. So this was the original early Series 1 model.
My goodness me.
Yeah. So
and someone's wealthy toy. I mean, for having it exported to America, did you look at the history of it at all?
Well, unfortunately, Americans aren't into history that much.
No.
And they don't tend to keep a history. So this came with no history.
Right.
And much to my unfortunate efforts, I still haven't traced any history. But But it's a match numbers. I've got the heritage certificate to prove it.
Right-hand drive when you got it?
It was left-hand drive. Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
so you had to convert it back.
Yeah, which is a very straightforward job actually.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. There's no power steering. It's very most parts the same. All the dials are in the middle.
Yes. So that wasn't confusing.
It's not too bad. Yeah. It's pretty straightforward.
The Americans were known for a quite bouncy suspension. Did you have to change the suspension?
No. The suspension was never. The suspension was identical no matter where they shipped them.
Yeah.
But almost all E-types got shipped to America.
Is that right?
Of that era, there was a deal. I'm sure there was some sort of deal done at the time, but something like 90% of all E-types, I think, all ended up in America.
Right.
And there's still loads of them over there.
And from a point of view, the engine looks immaculate. It's the original engine in there.
Original engine, original cylinder head.
So what is? Tell for those that are listening in. Tell us about the engine that we've seen.
So the first 3 years of production, they used a 3.8, which was the launch size of the engine, which came straight from the XK150S.
Okay.
Exactly the same triple carbs, so it went straight into here. And then in 1964 they introduced a 4.2, but again for the American market, same power but more torque. So this is the original engine. The purists, not the purists, but the 4.2 is slightly different character.
Right.
It's more torquey. These are more revvy. More of a sports car-y engine, I suppose. The 4.2 is a better GT touring car with more torque.
And when we look inside this, it's sort of equally immaculate.
Yeah, there's a few things.
What was it like when you got it? Was it like this?
Nothing like this.
Nothing like this.
Nothing like this. No. The leather. Well, it was no leather. It was all vinyl and torn and missing, and there was no floors. The centre console was missing. But all the dials were there.
That gave you a chance to actually make it what you wanted.
Well, it was. It needed everything: new floors, new sills, new door skins, new boot floor. So there's lots of new metal in this car.
And would you say it is now complete and you're happy with it, or is there more to be done?
No, it's complete. I think I'm happy with it. I've just finished putting air conditioning in it, which is a requirement for my wife. She wanted it. It gets very hot in these coupes. So
it must be. There's a lot of glass here.
The air conditioning is magnificent, mind you. That is really lovely.
Yeah.
But no, it's pretty much done now. There's a lot of things I've done to it already. Like it's got a 5-speed gearbox, better braking, better cooling, better electrics, air conditioning now. There's not much more I'd want to do to it. The other thing is getting more common. I may do it is put power steering on.
Right.
A lot of people like power steering. Driving along is lovely. Parking is a nightmare. Very stiff.
I would have thought so.
Yeah.
And most of the work yourself, or did
I've done everything.
You've done everything
apart from paint. The paint. There's not enough years left in my life to learn to paint. Well, I've done everything. I did all the welding, did all the mechanics, all the electrics, all the trimming. But paint, no, that's quite an art that I won't learn.
It's absolutely glorious. Can I thank you for bringing it here today?
No problem at all. Thank you.
And it's an absolute gem. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.